The 1980s were often regarded as the finest decade for mainstream comedies ever, thanks to celebrities like Steve Martin, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Chevy Chase, amusing movies with broad appeal that were brilliantly written and delightfully acted dominated the box office. However, one performer, John Candy, has acted alongside all these legends and permanently shaped humor in the cinema. He appeared in several timeless comedies throughout the decade, including such classics as The Blues Brothers, Stripes, Splash, Spaceballs, Summer Rental, Uncle Buck, The Great Outdoors, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. John Candy was known for playing annoying and goofy characters, but his performances were never one-dimensional because the actor always allowed his or her subject's soul and heart to come through. Tragedy hit John Candy at a young age, shaking up his young life and leaving a phantom of pain and loss. He was born in 1950 to middle-class parents Evangeline and Sidney Candy, who worked as car salesmen in Toronto. Sidney Candy died abruptly of heart disease problems when John Candy was just 4 years old and his brother Jim was 6. Candy's dad was just 35 years old. Even though John Candy thoroughly embraced humor and acting and gave it his best, entering the entertainment industry wasn't his initial goal. Originally a football player for his high school team in the Toronto region as an offensive tackle, he had ambitions to play professionally, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Any hopes of playing in the Canadian Football League, maybe with the Toronto Argonauts of his hometown, were dashed when a serious knee injury ended prematurely his career. Candy instead focused on acting, and as a young adult, he quickly found success in Canada's budding comic industry. But he never completely abandoned football. Candy put up the money to buy 10% interest in Argos in 1991. Later that year, the resurrected team won the CFL title, the Grey Cup. Unfortunately, Candy's brief career as a CFL big shot was cut short when the Argonauts' other owners chose to sell the franchise in 1994. The Brat Pack of young performers, Molly Ringwald, Anthony Michael Hall, and Andrew McCarthy, who commonly collaborated in 80s teen movies, are the Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson frat pack of Millennium-era comedic partners dominated hilarious films in the 1980s. They all worked together on TV, and they continued to work together out of familiarity and a common humorous language when they moved on to big-budget films. John Candy was a key member of this group, and he remained committed to his comedic buddies throughout his career. While he appeared in 3 of the most significant and iconic comedies of the 1980s, National Lampoon's Vacation, Stripes, and The Blues Brothers, John Candy did not appear in Ghostbusters, the highest-grossing comedy of the decade, according to AMC's film site. It even included several well-known Candy associates, such as Stripes actor Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and SCTV colleague Harold Ramis. John Belushi was a close friend of John Candy's early in his career. Belushi, like Candy, proved his worth at Second City, where he collaborated with Dan Aykroyd and co-starred in The Blues Brothers and the military comedy 1941. According to The Hollywood Reporter, John Belushi died of a heroin overdose in March 1982. Candy, who, like Belushi, was overweight and involved in certain unhealthy habits, was devastated by his death. According to Martin Nelman's Laughing on the Outside, The Life of John Candy, John Belushi's death was sobering. He saw it as a message, said actor Don Hennessy. John realized it was time to go home, clean up, and get his career in shape. Candy had quit drugs at that point, but the tragic death of his companion had also plunged the actor into deep despair. Candy was so disturbed in the aftermath, according to friend John Stoker, that he couldn't leave his house or answer the phone. John Candy's health was a constant source of concern for him and those who adored him. Candy's father had died from cardiac difficulties when he was only 35 years old, leaving the prospect that Candy, too, would die from a similar disease and far too soon. Throughout his adult life, the actor struggled with his weight. People said he weighed approximately 275 pounds most of the time, despite making several attempts to shed weight throughout his life through diets, exercise, and trainers, all of which he struggled to maintain. He overate to self-medicate a sudden outbreak of panic episodes after he reached 40. His weight rose, especially when he declined to host the 1992 Canadian Genie Awards, which marketed Candy's appearance with a vulgar tagline, "We got the biggest celebrity we could find." Candy's scale weight was allegedly at 330 pounds before long. Candy was a frequent smoker, which may have contributed to his worsening health, according to the TV documentary Autopsy. Candy died of a deadly heart attack, whether due to heredity, habits, or a mix of the two, according to the New York Times. John Candy reportedly met Rosemary, his future wife, in the late 1970s, according to The Hollywood Reporter. When Candy requested her to assist him in typing a script, they began spending more time together after they clicked on a blind date. After being married in 1979, she moved on to become an abstract painter and ceramic artist. She and her husband Chris have 2 children, Jennifer and Chris. In 1994, Jennifer and her brother, who was then 9 years old, lost their father. Both Candy children followed in their father's footsteps in the entertainment industry, working on television and cinema. Jennifer Candy had starred in episodes of Liv and Maddie and Sydney to the Max, as well as created the television programs Prom Queen and Cockpit. Chris Candy has been on shows such as Murder in the First and The Late Late Show with James Corden. Both Candy children began their careers portraying characters on their father's Saturday morning show, Camp Candy. I hope you enjoyed this tribute to a wonderful person. What memories do you have about it? Let me know in the comments section below, and I'll be sure to read them. Be sure to like this video and subscribe and click the notification bell to get more videos just like this one.